And hello, everybody.
Welcome.
How is that? I didn't do the long countdown at all tonight. Welcome, everybody. It is 7 o'clock Eastern time, and we are Mike and Jennifer.
And we're delighted to have you join us tonight
with Ask Us Anything. We are simulcasting on YouTube, on the RV Lifestyle channel on YouTube, on our RV Lifestyle Facebook group, our RV Lifestyle Facebook page. Did I say that wrong? No, our RV Lifestyle Facebook Facebook group, our Facebook page, and our YouTube and our Facebook supporters. I can't keep track of all these different platforms. There's too many of them, right?
Maybe you should just have, kind of run across.
Yeah, I should do it. Happy Memorial Day, everyone. Let's bring Phyllis Kerr on because we're going to have a big announcement in a minute. But hi, Phyllis.
Hey, how's it going?
It is going good. We have folks standing by already, and I saw them. They were actually standing by when I first started to get ready here about a half hour ago. So why don't you give particularly those people on Facebook an idea of how all this works?
Right, because the people on YouTube, generally, they know the score, how to do everything. But if you're over on Facebook, if you're watching this from the Facebook group, Facebook and YouTube and StreamYard, the system that Mike uses, they don't play well together. They won't give us your name unless you give us permission. So sometimes it's easier just go over to the page and watch over there. And that's one thing. Right. And then the second thing is, if you have a question, type the word question in all caps and then type out your question so it's easier to see, because we're getting things in from Facebook and from YouTube and they kind of all mush together, and it makes it easier to pick them out on the system that we're using. So that would be super good to do.
And we have this big list of everybody's names, and this just kind of goes, just scrolls by real fast. And so when we want to grab a question or a comment, it helps to see it. For example, we love getting messages like this one from Ron. He was the first one waiting this morning, or this afternoon. So we always like to say hi. Who says hello from upstate. But as we get more and more people on, we try to hit the questions. Now we have an announcement to make.
Yes.
Many of our folks know that we have been running a sweepstakes, a giveaway for a $500 Camping World certificate, good at either a store or online, I think. You can do it in person or online. And we have a winner, don't we, Phyllis?
Yes, it's so exciting. So the system that we used, we got all these entries, just thousands and thousands of people entered. And it was wonderful to see because they could do things on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all sorts of different places where you have an RV lifestyle presence. So that was kind of fun to see. But also what was super nice for me is that we chose a winner. We emailed the winner and the winner wrote back like almost immediately. That's like never happened. And I was like so happy. It made it so easy. So I'm really excited to announce the winner. And can I go ahead and say his name, or do we want to?
Yes, we need like a
drum roll?
Yeah, there we go.
Well, the winner of the $500 Camping World certificate is Andy Dietz. And I think we have Andy with us, so that's super cool.
We do. Let's bring Andy in from the green room. Andy Dietz, how are you?
Everybody. Thank you for having me.
Well, it's great to have you. Phyllis, I'm going to let you go, and we're going to put Andy up there, and we'll check in with you later on in the show. Thank you much, Phyllis.
You're welcome.
And Andy, tell everybody where you're from, first of all.
So I live in Paddock Lake, Wisconsin, which is a couple miles west of Kenosha, Wisconsin, right on the Lake Michigan lakeshore. So kind of across from where you guys are in Michigan.
Yeah, you're probably due west of us here. So you won $500 from any Camping World store or any Camping World online purchase that you want to make. And you got that certificate that we sent. Everything's good, right?
Yeah, that's wonderful.
That?
Thank you so much for that.
Now, tell us a little bit. How are you going to use it? What kind of stuff are you looking for? And
maybe what do they camp in?
Yeah, what are you camping? He's a brand new camper.
Oh, actually. A brand new camper.
Well, I'm brand new to RVing, I guess we could say that.
Yeah.
I kind of am from the more primitive side of the camping world, which is, I grew up in the Boy Scouts. So ever since, Tiger Scouts all the way up to when I got my Eagle when I was a sophomore in high school, I was more primitive camping, which is a lot less heat, air conditioning than it is in the RV world. So I had always talked about taking a trip with my parents out west, and we finally ended up just pulling the trigger on it and going out in October of 2019, kind of right before everything kind of shut down. But we flew into Vegas, rented a Class C, and drove to Zion and Bryce and Grand Canyon for about a week. So that's kind of how this whole idea kind of sparked. Following that, we talked about my wife and I talked about.
Wait a minute. This trip was with your parents, did you say?
Right. Yep.
Oh, you took your parents, and they were they campers, or it was just how many people were with you on that first
So
trip?
it was myself, my wife Amber, and then my mom Ann and my dad Greg. So just the four of us. So
In
my
a Class C?
In a Class C. Yeah.
I hope you all got along.
Yeah,
I think they did.
It was a wonderful time. And
Yeah.
so my dad, did a lot of camping with me in the Scouts, and my mom was involved in the Girl Scout program too, so she was familiar with camping. But we were all brand new to the RV world, so it was a little bit of trial by fire, and we figured everything out, and it was a wonderful trip.
And obviously you still like the RV world, because what did you do?
Yeah, we were lucky enough. So following that trip, we were lucky enough to meet a couple who had an RV that was in storage for about 4 or 5 years, who were looking to get rid of it. So it is a 2008 27-foot eco travel trailer. It's a hybrid, so it's got a little pop-out tent on it. So I actually bought that before I had anything to tow with it. So kind of did it opposite to probably whatever else about 99% of everybody else does. So, but we're able to buy the truck in a couple of months, or about a month ago now, and just took our first shakedown trip last weekend and survived that. And we actually have a pretty busy summer planned, thankfully. We're heading out to Moab and Arches and Canyonlands in a couple of weeks. And then we're taking my parents out to Badlands and Mount Rushmore in August.
Oh, that is awesome, Andy. And so this is a new RV, so you can use that. What are you going to buy? What do you need for that with that $500 gift certificate?
Well, new to us. So, I mean, it is a 2008. So, I mean, there's been 13 years worth of technology advances, and it needed a little TLC. So I was fortunate enough to, living in the Midwest, as you guys know, to have an early spring this year. So I was able to get it out of storage in early March and start working on some projects with it. And I really hope to be able to kind of do some more off-grid stuff like you guys do, and kind of get off of the campgrounds a little bit and kind of get out there a little bit more. So definitely would like to try to invest into some equipment to do that. So this really helps us kind of get out there and really have a wonderful summer.
Well, we are thrilled, and we're thrilled that it went to kind of some new RVers, veteran camper. You're a Boy Scout, camping, but new RVers, and for you and your family, I just wish you great. I hope Jennifer and I see you out on the road.
I hope our paths cross.
It'd be wonderful to run out in, you guys.
All right, send pictures of your trip. Post it on our Facebook group, and just thanks so much, Andy, and we're delighted that you were the winner of our certificate. We'll check you down the path. Thanks for coming on live to say hi to everybody.
Thanks, Mike and Jen. Appreciate everything you guys do.
Well, thank you. We appreciate you, and we really do.
Mm-hmm.
Really do. That's awesome. So we're going to try and do these kind of sweepstakes on a regular basis. In fact, we have one that we want to announce in a couple of days. It's not quite as much as that, actually.
I was going to say, you're talking about what we use.
Yeah.
You got all of their hopes up.
Yeah. It's not another $500 one,
No,
but we're going to try
$5.
But yeah, it's a $5. But we have 5 of them we'll give away. But they're pretty cool. We'll have a video on them. We'll tell you more about them probably by next week's Ask Us Anything, and maybe we can find some other stuff that we can add to that. But it's fun to do that sweepstakes, and we'll try and do that. We got lots of you standing by and lots of questions, and I wanted to share you with one thing that we caught up today. This, of course, is Memorial Day weekend, and it's the time when everybody heads off and spends a lot of time out there camping and gets out to enjoy it. And all day long, the National Park Service has been tweeting and sending videos out showing how crowded it is.
Saying what? Don't come?
Pretty much. For example,
Stay home.
check
Camp
this
in
out.
your backyard.
Here's Grand Canyon South entrance this afternoon.
Got to see that.
Look
my.
at that.
Oh my.
Can you see that? I mean, I know the pictures, it's not full screen, but that's the best I could do. That's from the entry gate. You can see there's an RV over on the right. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 lanes, and as far as you can see, they're jammed up. And that is just.
I wonder what time.
That was done early this afternoon. They sent that in, and it's been like that all day long. So it's,
Well, can they still let people come in, or do they run out of parking spots? Do
they
close the
basically
gate?
said there's the parking lots are jammed, and your best bet is if you do is to find a shuttle. They're doing shuttles off site. Either get there real early. I also saw a video from Bryce National Park of everybody standing by waiting to jump on a shuttle bus, and it was just thongs of people. They did a pan around, and it was everyone. So anyway,
Have fun.
just like we never went out and partied on New Year's Eve, we try and stay out of campgrounds or camping on big holidays like Memorial Day, especially after everybody was cooped up for a year. They're all anxious to get out there. So anyway, that's it. Let's get to you guys and your questions, and we'll have lots to go. The first one is from Bradley Olson.
I enjoyed your interesting story on owning your own campsite. Did the ones you interviewed say if there were any annual fees other than taxes, sewer, water, and electricity? And yes, there are fees.
Yeah,
that's the first thing I asked you.
You know, but the thing that
because it's a gated community.
Bradley, I hope I don't know if you read this. It was in the story. I listed all of the costs in the story. So you didn't read the story, but you probably saw the video. With most of our videos, you can't go into everything on a video. So we always have an accompanying blog story on rvlifestyle.com. And so we listed everything under there. But, on your ownership, you have to install your own sewer and utilities. And that can be an $8,000 cost when you put everything on. You also have to pay a $500 a year fee for the management of the roads, and it's a gated community, like you said. What else am I missing on that? I think that was it. And then if you want to add a pad, you can install that yourself, or they'll help you do it. A lot of people are putting in boat docks, and of course, those are all extra costs. But you buy the property, you want to have the utilities. You do have to pay for your utilities to be installed. But it's a pretty neat little facility right on the Tennessee River or Kentucky Lake, whatever you prefer calling it. So,
and there are places like that all over the country.
There are. We stayed, and we write in the blog post about a couple we stayed at in Florida. One extremely high-end luxury. We were in a Class B at the time, and they kind of made an exception. Cans. Yeah, they said they'd let us in because we're media. So where did they put us?
By the trash.
By the trash cans. And that one, the prices started at $99,000 for a lot, just a narrow lot.
Well, yeah, it wasn't big.
Now they had a pool and they had a lot of other amenities, but still. And then we went to one on Lake Okeechobee in Florida, which was a little more egalitarian, I guess, and that one started at about $45,000. So this place that we just did the story on, which is buying acreage, really, the smallest one they sell is about a third of an acre, and you can get a 5-acre site if you want. You're buying property; it's your property, and then you can do what you want to install all of your stuff. But your only thing you have to pay is the $500, which is for the roads, to keep the roads running, and the gate, and then you get fence security for storage and all that. So that's pretty reasonable. I hope that answered your question, Bradley. Read the story. It's on the blog. And with the question.
What was the name of the flower plant identification app that you use?
Well, there's
Flowers,
a million.
Trees.
Yep, there's a million of them. The one I really like is called Picture This. And you can basically take a picture of whatever it is that you see.
That's not
it doesn't show in the image, but it'll basically tell you what it is. Just take a picture and it'll identify it. Google Photos, if you have Google Photos, does the same thing. This one costs like $29 a year. I like it because it gives you so much information.
And did I miss the name of it?
Picture This.
Oh, Picture This.
It's called
Okay.
Picture This. So it's pretty neat. Gloria Maillard.
Okay, will Jen be giving us more of her camping recipes? Would love to have more ideas for preparing meals to go. Good question.
And the
Jen
answer is
believes in grilling salmon, burgers, whatever I can outside, chicken, so that I don't have to cook a lot.
yeah.
Yeah. So maybe I'll get some more recipes together.
We do have a video we're working on our favorite road food that we found along the way over the last couple of years. I think we're going to hit that next Saturday. So
Yeah, this week we're starting a different eating plan. So
yeah.
I've got a refrigerator full of keto. I don't know what I'm going to do with that keto.
Yeah, no more keto.
I'm not
No,
eating keto.
But
At least the
think
keto
you should
I
do.
have.
I think you should do a couple more recipes. I mean, people
Sure.
ask about that regularly. Tell her, everybody, tell her.
Yeah.
Give her a thumbs up right now. We want to see all those thumbs go. Hit the thumb up button, and she'll see it flying across the screen, and then she'll know. And Gloria wants to know.
Have you ever stayed at the
Fanny Hoo campground.
Fanny Hoo campgrounds in Copper Harbor, Michigan?
In Copper Harbor, no, we stayed at Fort Wilkins, which is the state park. We really like the state park there, Fort Wilkins State Park in Copper Harbor, Michigan. I've not stayed at the Fanny Hoo campgrounds, but
We need to stay there. I bet it must be nice. Or Gloria wouldn't be asking us
I don't
about
know.
it. We
we're
need
staying
to
at
go there.
We love Fort Wilkins, so
Yeah,
that's kind of like our go-to.
our
place.
go-to.
Yep.
But we should try something new.
Yeah. James Harris.
Do you think upgrading the tires from the stock tires that come with a leisure van to high-end Michelin would make much of a difference in safety and performance?
You know, I'm thinking about doing just that. Not so much for safety. I just really like the ride of Michelin's over the stock Continentals. I think I have a rim leak too in one of mine. About every month and a half, I have to fill up one of the tires. But we did that once before on one of our Class Bs. Do you remember that? And we got all new Michelins, and we just could not believe the difference in the ride. So I'm thinking about that. I don't know if it would help in safety or performance. The Michelin's high ends are really nice tires.
What would that cost? Do you have any idea?
Well, for 4 of them on the Class B, I think it cost about $1,500, I think. No, that was 6. It was for 6 of them. That's right, for 6, about $1,500. So that was 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know what the cost would be now. But I'm considering that, James. So I will let you know if I do it, and if you do it, you let me know. Linda Ward.
Have you seen the new app, Find Starlink? You enter your location, and it'll tell you when and where you are likely to see the Starlink satellites.
Yeah, you can see these things, you know, because they're launching 4 or 5 of them every month, and there are, I think, about 800, 900 right now in orbit, working to what they call a constellation of about 3,000. Starlink is the new satellite internet service that's starting to roll out in rural areas around the country. It will soon be available, and when I say soon, I mean within the next year, probably closer to that 12-month period. They'll start testing it for RVs and mobile units, but it's fun. It's fun to look at any of the stars. There's an app out there to find the International Space Station, and but find Starlink. You can see these guys, and they move really fast across the sky. So you can. I mean, it's not like whoosh, whoosh, but you see them. Most people see them and they think, oh, look, there's an airplane, but it's probably, you know, if it's all in steady and it's all like that, it's the Starlink satellites. Steve Wright.
Did you all see the fallen trees along the Natchez Trace, especially around Tupelo, when you made your trip on the trace? That was storm damage, and the reason I stayed off the trace during bad weather conditions.
There wasn't much. We saw
some.
a couple of areas, it seems to
that
me,
were hit.
but we did not see, and nothing. I think there was one stretch, I believe it was a little south of Tupelo, maybe, that looked like somebody said a tornado had gone through the previous year or fall. I don't remember when. But you know, tornadoes, it used to be always in October, you know, Oklahoma and Kansas, and now it's Arkansas and it's Mississippi, and it's in the springtime, and then it'll start going further west. But we didn't see a lot of damage. A few areas
We did see.
and
We did
I know
see
there
damage.
was one stretch of road that they said they were repairing.
Right. Couple
when
of
we
spots we couldn't get off because they were doing work.
Yeah, so it might have been from storms.
Mhm.
Yep. Annie Tabor.
What is the best equipment to use to ensure that you have an internet connection? I work from my RV, and I am never confident that wherever she is, they'll have a good connection.
Well, you don't want to rely on campground Wi-Fi, Annie. That's the most unreliable, because if the campground's crowded, the Wi-Fi is going to slow to a crawl. Similarly, if you are on like a jetpack or a MiFi data card, the same thing is going to happen. So many people now use those. Just look, if you are in a campground right now, call up your app or your smartphone or whatever it is and look under Wi-Fi, and you'll see a gazillion Wi-Fi connections. Those are everybody's jetpacks and MiFis. All of those are working on the same cell phone towers. So if you're in a very small area where maybe there's only one cell phone tower, and it's a big campground and you've got 30, 40, 50 people hitting that cell phone tower, again, service can slow down quite a bit. So in the campground, now some campgrounds have really upgraded their systems. They've got fiber coming in, or they've added lots and lots of boosters, and it's much more reliable than it used to be. But it's still, we find, pretty spotty in most campgrounds. And that's because another thing that happens is, even though you're not supposed to, people try and stream videos, and most campgrounds can choke that off, but everything degrades the efficiency. So we try and camp in less populated areas. That's why another reason we like boondocking so much. So at the minimum, I think you should have a cell phone booster. And WeBoost has a new one out. It's about $500. I'll be doing a review on it actually in a couple of weeks. And it's really, really a nice booster. They kind of improve theirs every year. And that's WeBoost. And I don't remember the number, but it's got RV in it. So check that. And I'm a big believer in having a jetpack or a data card, jetpack, MiFi, depends on what cell service, what they call it. And then if you really want to be sure that you have a good internet connection, be redundant. Have two connections, one on AT&T and one on Verizon. That's the two that I would recommend. They're the most reliable. So if it's essential, that's the kind of stuff that you have to do to be sure you have it. Joy Peterson.
We quickly hit the road from Wisconsin to St. Louis to pick up our LTV Unity rear lounge 2 days ago. After 15 months, we are newbies, and thank you for inspiring us and your great advice.
That's great. 15 months it took them to get that.
Well, that's better than 30.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. So happy for you. James Massey.
Saw your story about purchasing RV lots on Kentucky Lake. Do you ever see trading your condo on acreage for your RV?
No. No, I don't think so. We rent our condo out. So why, it's and we use it 3 or 4 times a year, but
our kids were funny. It was funny to hear our son-in-law say, "Why would you sell that?" Because we're right on the Gulf. It's great for vacations. You wouldn't want to live there. At least I wouldn't want to live there year round.
Too hot.
But and we're spoiled. We're not used to condo living, having people above you
I
and
think
below
that's
you.
the real thing. It's like being in a campground. I don't like hearing, furniture dragging up above.
Thinking about buying them a rug for under their kitchen table.
Yeah. So we kind of stay away from. But anyway, we're there 3 or 4 times. And we really do enjoy it. There's a great question, Davis, Tandy, and Buster.
Any update on the possible Mount Rushmore gathering?
Yes. Let's see if let's put her on the spot. Hey, we've been talking about, do we have the dates locked up? Can we tell them the dates yet for that?
No, no.
We can tell it's in July of 2022. We can say that much.
Yes. And that,
I thought we had dates.
And we might, but I can't pull them up with a 2-second notice.
Okay, that's all we need to know is that we have dates. Yeah.
Yes, we have dates, and they're going to give us the best spots. I've had that confirmed, and so we're good. We're just waiting for them. Yeah.
And one of the things is their system isn't open. This is actually going to be. We're not going to say where it is, but their system doesn't open till 6 months before, and So they're kind of doing this special. But okay,
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that we're still on the same plane. Okay,
Okay.
thank you. That's Phyllis, who's handling all of that stuff. She's handling our big gathering that we're doing. You know, we're sold out. The gathering that we're doing on the Mississippi in October in Natchez, that's sold out. There's we have a waiting list, but you can get on that. But the next big one we do will be next July. Not this year, July 2022, and it will be at Mount Rushmore, and we'll have all those details as soon as we have everything completely nailed down. So good question, Davis, Tandy, and Buster. I hope you make that one. Wonder Bike.
Okay, we have a Wonder rear twin bed and are having trouble finding a bike rack that will work on an 11.4.
I don't know what 11.4 means. 11.4 hitch as opposed to a 2-inch. There's a little adapter that you can get, but here's the thing: the rear twin bed Wonder can only have a couple of 100 pounds hitch weight. Each e-bike weighs about 60 pounds.
Ours weighs 60
pounds. Yeah, at least ours do. Maybe you're using regular bikes, which are a little better, but the hitch weighs a lot. So the one we have, I can't remember the name of it. Hollywood's the Hollywood bike, but I had to get an adapter. It's kind of like squeezes it down, and I'm not real comfortable. I certainly, I could carry one e-bike on the back, but I'm not comfortable enough with that adapter to do that. So we can put one in the garage. That's one of the downsides of the rear twin bed. Now you can put 2 bicycles in the RTB, the Wonder, in that garage.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't worry about with a hitch if you can get that adapter that brings it down from the 2-inch receiver down to the 1.25-inch receiver. That's what you have to do, is find that adapter. I find that a good place to go is to a big U-Haul store. They have, most of them install hitches, and they can fix you right up and tell you what you need and how much weight you can handle. Marcia Gray.
Have you ever thought of bundling your 3 Florida travel guides?
Well, we have. We have. There's a bundle right there online right now for it, Marcia. Check out our books at rvlifestyle.com/books. Scroll around, and there is a 3 book bundle for the West Coast, for the East Coast, and for the Keys.
And we were just talking the other day about how much fun we had in the Keys.
Oh my gosh, didn't we have fun there?
We really did.
That was, because you look at that, we were there just as COVID started. It was, everybody was kind of like, oh. And at that time, they were all talking about Italy. And as we were in the Key West, a ship came in, a cruise ship.
From Italy?
It was from Italy. We were like, oh boy.
Yeah, we're walking down the street.
Yeah, we're going up a lighthouse in Key West. And all these Italians from this cruise line had come, and they're all, talking in Italian, and they're going up this thing. And we look at each other, and you got to grab the handrails, and they're all from COVID country. Oh no, what are we going to do? But otherwise, we did have a great time.
We survived.
But check out our bundle, the Florida book bundle. All 3 of them are on there. Jerry Cornelius.
We would like to plan a Western trip using byways rather than interstates. What are helpful resources in putting this together? Appreciate any tips.
I would start with RV Trip Wizard. That's our go-to device that we love to plan everything with. RV Trip Wizard. I think if you go to rvlifestyle.com/RV Trip Wizard, all one word, you can. That's our affiliate link, and you can see it. But it's really nice because you get a detailed map. You can draw a circle, how far you want to go. It'll tell you where you need to stop for gas, what campgrounds are there. It just makes it so easy. And then you can save that on any device you want and call it up. Secondly, you need to get some paper maps. We're big believers. See if I can reach this over here. In this is the North American Atlas. And each state has its own page, and you can kind of draw your maps however you want, and plan it that way. We too like to stay off the interstate, so I'll use RV Trip Wizard just because I'm kind of an electronic geeky guy. But This is always in the front seat with us or right behind us where we can either get it and we'll pull that out and go from there.
We love our maps in hand.
I don't know, something about it. I think it might be an age thing. I don't know. It's like, it's just like a book. There's something I love. I read all my books on the Kindle, or on my Kindle app, but there's just something about a hardcover book. I just finished one book, a great novel. What's it called? The Four Winds. Great novel about the Dust Bowl. I read it on but you're reading the hard copy in the book.
I prefer.
Yeah, it's just something.
I'm so old-fashioned.
Salon 101 West.
We are in Texas. We have searched for a Class B RV Mercedes, looking at different dealers in the Houston area. Can't locate any. Thinking of going to Florida to look. Any recommendations?
If you're going to Florida, I would, call our friend Nick at Sunshine State RVs, plural.com. SunshineStateRVs.com. He has a huge inventory usually of used Class Bs, and he sells all the new ones. So I don't know what he has in stock.
Call him. Go online.
Yeah, just go to his website. So, and Nick used to be a sponsor. But he's a good friend still. I think he quit sponsoring when he ran out of RVs, but Nick always has some, I think. So SunshineStateRVs.com. I just got a little notice on my watch. Somebody just bought a bundle, and I wonder if that was you from a couple callers back. That was great. Linda Drew.
Do you see yourself changing RVs again, or are you happy with the leisure travel, which has been my favorite and on my wish list?
Do we see ourselves changing RVs again? Probably. Yeah, I think so. We love the leisures too. This is our second leisure product. And I think I'm starting to miss the slide that's usually on our other one went off over Jen's shoulder, over that shoulder.
Oh, it doesn't
over
matter.
there.
They can
And you can see how behind us, it's kind of narrow. It's great. Our beds are right back there. There's our beds.
Love the beds.
We love the beds. That's their favorite thing. They're always
and
made
I
up.
gotta say how much I have come to like the bedding.
Yeah. The beddies, the bed coverings that we just did a video on that. So
yeah, I didn't think I liked it.
You better tell them what it is.
Oh, well, it's a fancy sleeping bag. It's a fancy sleeping bag that costs a whole bunch of money. But the bottom of the sleeping bag is like a fitted sheet, and it fits your mattress. And then it is a sleeping bag that it has zippers on both sides. And the only thing I wasn't sure, and which I still don't like, but it's so comfortable sleeping in it. There's lots of room in it, and the sheets feel good, and the space is very nice. When you wash it, you have to. It's like two big blankets that you have to wash every time you do the sheets.
I zip it together, and I find no problem with that at all.
No, it gives you extra room that a sleeping bag doesn't normally give you,
and it's really comfortable. We have if you go to rvlifestyle.com /partners, and you can find it. They're listed in a group. We got a bunch of places that give discounts or special things that we talk about, and they're there. The beddies, BEDDYS. That's what we sleep on. But back to the question of, do we ever see ourselves getting a different RV? Probably. We like to switch out usually every year and a half. And people say, well, how do you do that? Well, once you've paid for one, right, you can usually sell it for almost what you paid for. There is depreciation, except this year. This year, we could probably sell this for more than we paid. But we like to try different RVs. Like this was the first, we wanted to be on the Transit chassis because it's such a popular chassis. So we got that, and we wanted to have a gas engine, which we have now. All of our other RVs have been diesel.
And we wanted the storage area, and we wanted a bed made up all the time. The sleeping is great.
So, these are the guys, this has been 10 years for us being on the road like this now. And I see us getting one more RV. Before we probably have to slow down a little bit, or it becomes our forever RV. And I think just having that little slide out, but we want a bed that's always made up, and which would probably send us back towards the Unity. I'm not sure yet, but who knows? maybe we'll get a Class A. She said right away, never getting a Class A. So, Ailey.
I'm planning to go to Arizona next year with my 2 kids, 10 and 12. They'll be 10 and 12 then, next year.
Planning to rent an RV from
Planning
there.
to rent.
Call our friends at in Arizona in Phoenix area, La Mesa RV.
Do they rent?
Yeah, I think they have some. La Mesa RV, and see what they have. You certainly can try places like RV and Go, RV Share, Outdoorsy. There's a million places now to rent an RV, and that's always a great way to start. To rent an RV, give it a try, make sure it's for you.
But if you rent an RV and the parking lot is totally empty, do not park next to the one other RV that's in the parking lot. We washed our rig today, and they had that situation in the Upper Peninsula, and somebody ran into.
And it was a rental RV.
Rental all over the side of the dumb thing, and we're looking at they scraped it up a little bit.
And I don't know why we didn't notice it before.
We were trying not to notice.
Well, either that or it was so dirty. We did wash our RV today.
Yep.
Yeah. So good luck, Ailey. You will have fun. You'll have a great time. Matthew Blau joins us. Hey, Matthew, great to see you.
All right. Thank you. I just got my Rad Power bike, Rad Wagon 4, and I appreciate the $75 off. I hope you love your bike.
Yeah. In fact, I just am charging my Rad Power bikes. I just put the charger on them this morning. So, in fact, they should be all charged by now. They are a great bike. The e-bikes are so much fun. They're so much fun, especially when you RV. So, great for you, Matthew. I'm glad you got it. Pam Koster.
Traveling with Bo. Do you find any parks that do not allow him? And how do you monitor the RV temperature when you leave him in there?
We've never had a park that wouldn't allow a Bo in ever, right?
Yeah, we've been very fortunate.
But the way
there are some breeds that are not welcome.
Okay. Can you
think that's
see
gonna
that?
show? It
I'm going to
hasn't
see if
been
it'll show.
working.
It will. Can you see that? 73.6 degrees. That's the temperature inside the RV. That's what the temperature is. I got to get the camera to focus now. That's what the temperature is in the RV. And that is an app called Waggle, Waggle. And we have, it used to be called Nimble, and they changed the name to Waggle because it used to be something before Nimble. RV Pet Safety Monitor is what it was. But we've had that for a couple of years now, and we really like it. It's a really handy device to have. So I've got to get that to focus on us. So how am I going to do that now? There we go. Oh, let's see. There we go. It's got us now. Annie Taylor
says, I don't believe you tow a car. We
don't.
Do not tow a car. And how do you get around when you need to buy groceries, sightsee, etc., and other things? Or do you always do that before you settle in someplace? But we always try to buy our groceries and everything before we settle in.
Personal thing. I'm there. I want to stay there, unless we want to go exploring. And then what do we do?
Well, if you were in a big city, you could,
Uber. Some people,
if you had the Rad Power bikes, you could, with a basket.
City, almost every city now is pretty bike friendly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But normally if we're camping someplace and we want to go somewhere, we just go. We go in the RV. In our RV, we push a button and the automatic levelers come up. If I'm hooked up to electricity, I unplug that and throw the cord in the RV and we go. It takes 2 minutes.
And lots of times we don't plug into the electricity.
No,
because we don't need it.
Yeah. So, and that's one of the things I really like about this Wonder that we're in. It drives like an SUV. It is so.
It handles very nicely.
Yeah.
Now, if you're in a big city, you're not going to be too happy with that.
No, well, ours is okay.
You park in the back of a parking lot.
Yeah, there's very few places that we haven't been able to go in ours. Mm-hmm. In an urban setting, it's kind of hard to find sometimes parking for it because it needs more than one space. Mm-hmm. But in parking lots, you can usually find one in the back. You certainly can't go in a parking garage. So there are certainly benefits to towing. Ours, the Wonder rear twin bed, because it has that big garage, we can't tow a car. It doesn't have enough towing capacity. All of our Class B Sprinters and our leisure travel van Unity could tow a car and a small car, and if we had a Unity, we would probably consider that.
Now, is it just because we have the garage that we can't tow a car?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't know if you can on the. I'm not sure on the other models.
We gotta check it.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out. But I
figure
know
that
on
out.
ours because of the garage we don't have the towing capacity.
Mm-hmm.
Continuing Curtis.
Have you ever stayed at a golf course through Harvest Host? Yes, we have.
We had fun. It was, that's one of the best secrets of Harvest Hosts. You can stay at a golf course and, you pull in like at this time of night, it's Sunday. Most people have come off the course. There's always a good restaurant, usually a lounge, and you're parked right in the parking lot, right on, right next to the golf course. It is gorgeous. And you wake up in the morning and something prettier than a golf course. So that's one of their add-on memberships that Harvest Host has. And by the way, I see they have a big Memorial Day sale. And we should tell people we can save you 15% if you go to rvlifestyle.com/HH, rvlifestyle.com/HH, and you'll save 15% off your membership. But the golf course is an add-on membership, but they're really nice. And that's why, we never make reservations now as we're going places. If we're going to a destination and we've got a couple days on the road, we'll stay at a Harvest Host, and we know we can find a golf course or a fun attraction. And if that doesn't work out, there's always a Cracker Barrel. There's always boondocking in a national forest if we're passing one of those. So
I thought you were going to say Walmart.
yeah, I don't like that. Walmart's too noisy. Michelle Korn.
Just returned from a long-awaited trip to the Southwest. We appreciated your ebooks on Arizona and Utah. Beautiful country and plenty of boondocking.
Oh, thank you.
That for sure.
Thank you, Michelle.
Yeah.
Our next ebook, we have Arizona and Utah and Colorado. We have a bundle for all three of those. I'd love hearing people who like our books and watch it.
That's very encouraging. Thank you.
We're working on the next one, and the next one is going to be the Great Lakes Shoreline Tour. And it starts in New York, and it follows the U.S. side of the shore all the way across Lake Ontario, Lake Erie, up Lake Huron, around the Upper Peninsula where it meets Lake Superior over to, then you come back down to Wisconsin and Upper Peninsula, Michigan, and then the Lake Michigan shoreline.
Isn't it like 3,000?
Over 3,000 miles.
3,000 miles of shoreline with the Great Lakes.
And we even did a ferry boat tour on the Badger across Lake Michigan.
I hope I hope they can keep that ship going.
Yeah, me too. But that's coming out before summer. I guarantee that. Joyce 46 July.
Is it true there is up to a 30 months wait to order an LTV Unity?
Yes, it is. I think they're hoping that it'll come down a little bit, but right now, like most manufacturers, they're being hit by a parts shortage and a chassis shortage. Most people don't understand that the effect that Amazon has had on the RV industry.
The effect that Amazon has had upon our country.
Everything, yeah, but they have bought up they buy up Mercedes chassis by 30,000. They buy up all the Dodge Ram chassis. They buy up now they're buying the Transit chassis. So they're buying all these chassis. And the RV makers, Mercedes is still having problems with their chassis. There's nothing physically wrong with it, but the EPA has to certify them every year. And I don't understand all the details, but a few years ago, they caught Volkswagen, and there was a pretty big scandal with it. And since then, they were fudging the numbers or something with the EPA numbers. And so they have really made this a difficult procedure for all importers. So those Mercedes engines made in Germany have to get certified, and that takes forever. So the chassis and the parts are also affected by all of this. Many of the parts are stuck in those ships trying to get in. Same with every manufacturer. You've heard about the chip shortage with the Ford F-150s. Well, nobody's really covered this in the RV industry, but they shut down the Ford Transit factory, and I believe it was Kansas City, for a week or two because they didn't have those chips. So all of that compared to then the difficulty of getting awnings and water pumps and sliding steps and the different parts and supplies that are stuck in that supply shortage. And then once they're in this country, finding drivers who can drive them, there's a driver shortage. All of that is added up to why on some high demand items like the leisure travel vans Unity and the leisure travel van Wonder, there's up to, not, it may not be, but that's the longest I've heard, 30 months. You buy today, you don't get it till 30 months. They hope to turn that around. I know that leisure has a 2-year backlog right now of orders. That's how popular they've become. Ronnie Kaoli. I hope I'm pronouncing it right.
Please excuse my ignorance. Have you ever had a flat tire while running? How did you react to it? Well, let me tell you about it. What's the safest thing to do aside from not panicking? Thanks. I had the flat tire when I was driving. And some man was trying to tell me this like twice. And I'm like, who are you? Leave me alone. I wasn't smart enough to figure out he was trying to tell me that my tire was. And then when the car started, or when the van started feeling fine, I thought, oh, I got a flat tire. Ah! And luckily,
how did you handle it?
We just had to drive it. There was nothing to do. And I just got off at the next exit.
We were on I-75 somewhere near Kentucky. I don't remember what city. And you pulled off, and 2 miles down the road was a tire shop. Mm-hmm. We pulled in. They said, yeah, we can fix it. It's the restaurant 2 doors down. We went to the restaurant, had dinner, came back. Car was all fixed. Now, fortunately, we had enough in the thing to drive to get to that. The next exit was right up the road, and we could drive. If it had gone completely flat, we couldn't have driven it.
We just would have pulled off.
We would have called Good Sam and had them come, and all those services are Good Sam, CoachNet. They all work the same. Leisure Travel Van has their own. Most manufacturers have their own service, road service, and but they all work to the same numbers and same deals. And they would have come and repaired it for us. That
wasn't as scary as when I was driving and there was road work. There weren't any shoulders, and it was a 2-lane road. Both directions, traffic.
Texas.
And we were running out of gas. And then I wanted to strangle you because you're one of those people that, how long can we go? And I'm like, when it hits a quarter of a tank.
We could go a long way, as it turned out.
I was like, I can't even pull over and have him drive.
There was no place to pull.
Gas. There's no place to pull over.
That was fun.
That was fun because you weren't driving.
And you could trust it. It said we had 50 miles to go, and we found a gas station when we had 7 miles to go. So it worked out great. Lindy Rollins.
Okay. Lindsay has the waggle, and the charge seems to only last a couple of days. Do you leave it plugged in? Do you have a routine for changing it? Like automatically plugging it in every 2 days?
I leave it plugged in all the time. All the time. Our RV is in, we park it in our garage in Michigan, or our driveway in Michigan, and I had installed a 30 amp supply out there. So I leave it plugged in, and I leave it on all the time. But like right now, it's still showing me it's working, but I did unplug it because we're not going anywhere for a couple of weeks, and it's silly to just have it on. So.
But our rig is plugged in.
But whenever we start to go someplace, I plug it in and it charges right up and starts working. So my routine is plug it in when we take off. Views 2.
Is it safe to buy a 7-year extended warranty from Wholesale Warranties? They are $600 cheaper than the dealer, and the policy is backed by Linden Southern Insurance Company, $4,750.
We've been recommending Wholesale Warranties for a couple of years now. They're on our partners page, rvlifestyle.com/partners. Yeah, and that's why we recommend them. They shop all this stuff out. They're a small shop. They're they're just really dedicated. We just had them on the podcast. Stacy Roman was on from Wholesale Warranties just a couple of weeks ago. But yeah, that's why we recommend them. They find you such great deals. And a lot of RVers will buy their RV and then they will get their insurance through the dealership, which is not usually the best thing to do because the dealership gets a cut from the insurance company. And we have generally found those prices are not very competitive, or they're at the high end of them. So that's why we recommend Wholesale Warranties. You know, if you're going to get an extended warranty, shop it around. Don't take the one necessarily, the dealer might be great, but have some research behind it, and it doesn't cost you anything. You can go get a quote from Wholesale Warranties. They just go to rvlifestyle.com/partners and scroll down. You'll see them. Doesn't cost you anything for a quote, and you'll get to see what they can do for you. Facebook user.
We are picking up our first
40-foot diesel pusher.
on June 17th. Any advice?
Pinch yourself. Is this really mine? Yeah. Wow, that is awesome. You're going to have a great time. Our advice is if you're picking it up, I don't know whether you're buying it new or used, but your recommendations on the walkthrough are really what we tell everybody.
Yeah, try to video. Hopefully they have some kind of pamphlet, brochure, book that you can take lots of notes, but video, stay when the first couple of times you camp, stay in your driveway or close to where you bought it. So if you have any questions, you can get help.
Yeah. And don't
worry about it. You get to if you go to a campground, somebody there can help you.
Oh yeah. They love that. They all love to help somebody. Hey, how does this work? My water heater's not working. What do I do? Oh, you got to do this. But Jennifer's idea of videotape the walkthrough is really important because you're so excited. You're looking at this and they're showing you stuff and you want to take off and you're thinking about what you're going to do and you'll miss some stuff. So if you videotape it, hopefully you're going with somebody else, have the other person videotape it while you ask the questions. Take notes. There's something about taking notes that cements it in your mind. And then ask that person that's doing the walkthrough, now, can you give me a number that I can get through to you, or give me a number that I can get through to somebody who will answer the phone if I have a question over the next couple of days. And they'll hem and haw. Oh, call the dealer ownership. Well, don't call the office. You'll just get caught. You want to, what's your cell phone? And, if they try to push you through the walkthrough really fast, that would really make me angry enough to cancel because there's so much that you need to know, and you'll be a much more confident person if they give you some time. So a brand new Newmar, then you won't have any trouble. Newmar choose great dealers. They will take it. Is driving it hard? Well, that's a pretty big unit. So, it's going to take you some getting used to on doing tours, on backing up. Are you going to be towing? You might be towing. So it would be great if the dealer would put you up in a campground or let you stay on their lot. That's what I love to say, because most dealers have a hookup on your lot. Can I stay in your lot for the first night so we can run everything, make sure it works? And then in the morning I can come ask you, and so see if they'll do that for you. And then, you're spending a lot of money. You know how much you spend a lot. So I don't think it is unreasonable for you to say, hey, look, will you take me to a parking lot, or let's go someplace and I need a quick little drive through. I know Lazy Days, the big RV dealer, they actually have a little school that they send their new owners to, which we have to go down and do a story on that. They're Florida opera. We need to go visit them and do a story on that school. That's really customer service. So ask them to hold your hand for the first little bit, and go out and try it. But it's not hard. I mean, you just want to be careful. You want to understand what the vehicle's like when it turns and when you back up. And you want to know all those systems. And congratulations. Send us a picture. We love to see it. All right. This is from Fat Daddy 45.
I am retired. My wife will be soon. What would you say if I said I want to move into an RV full time? I would say, what does your wife say?
Yeah. And then I'd say, have you ever spent any serious time in an RV? And when I mean serious time, I mean not 20 years ago or 15 years ago or on a weekend. It is a huge step. I don't know how to say. We see people all the time who get caught up on the excitement and the romance of it, because this is so much fun. But there's also a cost, and there are a lot of things that you want to really weigh the cost of it. So don't go full time, sell everything until you're sure that this is the lifestyle. And how I think it should take you a year to know that this is for sure.
Now, if his wife is really excited and he's really excited,
try it first. Yeah. I mean, how many times have we heard the stories about husband and wives? They're going to go try it, and then they're living in this little thing. And I don't want to spend all my time with you. And just give it a try and see how make sure it's there. Don't rush off and sell everything and hit the road. Ease into it. How's that? Is that better than
full time in a bee?
Those people are nuts. No, I'm just kidding. All right, we're winding down. I want to give you a couple of reminders of things. Every Wednesday, we have a big change coming up in our podcast. But every Wednesday, we do an RV podcast. And if there's questions, and I know there's a lot of questions we see on the screen that we missed tonight, you see that number there? Just write that down. We'll give you time to go get a pencil, write it down. And then call in your question. Just leave us a voicemail. We'll answer it on the podcast. But here's what we're going to do. Not this week, but starting, I think, June 8th. We are going to do the podcast as always, but we're going to do it on video. We will have both an audio podcast. You'll still get it through iTunes and Spotify and Stitcher and all that stuff. But we're also then going to put it on YouTube. We'll have a video version of the podcast. And in that video version, you'll see video go by and pictures and stills and all of that. And we're really excited about it because it'll introduce the podcast to a whole new audience on YouTube. And I'm sure we'll have great interviews and it'll be a lot more fun. And even you regular podcast audio listeners, you can go check it out on YouTube and we'll show you stuff. So use that question. Our new merch, this is one of our new questions design. Isn't that cool? I should get rid of that scroll there, but this is one of our designs. We've got a whole bunch of new 2021 shirts and sweatshirts and cool stuff to get. And please go shopping. That's it. RVlifestyle.com/go shopping. And it's time to ask for your support. We have a special supporting membership on YouTube and on Facebook for those who want to help support us more. We're not, young kids. We've been doing this for 10 years and we're not, doing yoga poses on top of the roof of the RV.
Not all of us.
Yeah, you did. You did. But, well, anyway, that was a joke. It was supposed to be a joke. But if you value our advice and you'd like to be a little more connected with us, we invite you to become one of our members. And you can find out more right there at that address. And let's bring Phyllis back on and kind of wrap things up. How was everything today, Phyllis?
Oh, great. Lots of good questions. It was a nice ask us anything. It's good.
Yep. And we thank you for giving up some of your Memorial Day weekend to spend with us. Yeah, how are your flowers doing? You got all your flowers in your yard? Is it all ablaze in color?
Yeah, it's actually really quite amazing. It's beautiful and it's gorgeous. And I love Iowa this time of year, so it's all good.
All right. Let's give a shout out over on YouTube to Chris Cowley, who has been over there. Chris is based in West Virginia. And I saw an earlier thing this morning or this afternoon, just before we went on the air, Chris was saying that the weather in West Virginia is starting to be pretty nice too. So, and wherever you are, we hope everybody's having a great. Phyllis, we'll announce this new sweepstakes. We'll see what else we can find that we can give away. We'll talk about that. We'll announce that next week. But congratulations to Andy Dietz. Thanks, Phyllis. Congratulations to Andy Dietz, who was the winner of our $500 Camping World gift certificate. And that was really great. We were pretty thrilled to see Andy, a new RVer with the new RV. He's going to be able to use that. So what was up with us? We got the podcast. We got new content on the RVlifestyle.com blog every single day. Make sure you go see that. YouTubers, make sure you hit the subscribe button. All the rest of you have a great, great Memorial Day weekend, and we'll see you down the road.
Happy trails.